Bridget Jones, it's time to live.
This Galentine's Day, make a date with Peacock.
I've set you up on Tinder. What? You're welcome.
You can call me Rockstar.
Bridget Jones.
But you can call her mummy.
Experience the final chapter of Bridget's unforgettable journey.
By all that's holy, Bridget Jones.
You are a brilliant woman. Embrace the chaos.
Enjoy your weekend, Mrs. Darcy.
Bridget Jones, Mad About the Boy. Streaming only on Peacock February 13th.
That's certainly the biggest mistake when you start to use that term we, because we've gone to college ourselves, have that feeling of what it should be. And when we get caught up in, we are doing this, when you start using that we term, you've already crossed the line into it being more stressful than it should be. And the teens are resentful.
Welcome to the No Guilt Mom podcast. I'm your host, Joanne Crone, joined here by the delightful Bree Tucker.
Why, hello, everybody. How are you?
We are digging into a topic that is so on Bree and my minds these days. It is college. It's the college admissions process, and it is the ensuing conflict that is happening with our teens, both in kind of like different ways, which we'll share during the episode. But one of the things that you can expect from spending the next 30 minutes with us is you're going to hopefully realize this doesn't have to be as stressful as Bree and I are making it out to be, or at least I am making it out to be. I can't speak for you, Bree. Is it stressful for you?
It's stressful, but in a different way. I think that you definitely, due to where, I think you guys have some different stressors than we do.
Yeah. But we're going to actually show you how it can make the bond between you and your teens stronger. So you're going to see Bree and I go through it during real time. And we're doing that with the help of our guest, Dr. Pamela Ellis. She's known as the Education Doctor. She has helped over 30,000 families navigate college admissions, ensuring teens find the right fit without overspending. As a CEO and consultant, Dr. Pamela's experiences with the education system include advising school districts, community organizations, and institutes of higher education. However, her experience as the mother of 3 young children going back to graduate school provided a unique understanding of how to juggle college, life, and being a parent. And we are so excited for you to meet Dr. Pamela Ellis. And let's get on with the show. You want mom life to be easier. That's our goal too. Our mission is to raise more self-sufficient and independent kids, and we're going to have fun doing it. We're going to help you delegate and step back. Each episode will tackle strategies for positive discipline, making our kids more responsible and making our lives better in the process. Welcome to the No Guilt Mom podcast. Welcome, Pamela, to the No Guilt Mom podcast. We're so excited to have you here.
Oh my goodness, Joanne and Bree, I am so excited to be here. And knowing what I'm walking into with 2 moms who are in the process, oh my goodness, I can't wait.
It is insane.
It's so funny being in this process because I am learning what all is out there in the college admissions land. Like when I was going through it, I really didn't look outside my home state. Like I did, I wanted to go to USC, but it was way too expensive for my family. So I just kind of was like, check, not even gonna apply there. And now I'm realizing that I may have been limiting myself in that area. But before we get into that, can you explain to us, why is this process so damn stressful for parents?
Yes. There's a lot to that question.
I was going to say, and there are a lot of pieces. So which one do we dissect first?
Well, I'm going to get into it. But before I do, one of the things I want to say is thanks to both of you. And I just want to make sure that your audience knows just how lucky they are to have you as hosts. I mean, I love the fact that you do this together.
Oh,
just
thank
for
you.
sincerity and the questions with your shows. It's amazing. And so thank you so much for all you do. And I think the title alone just says so much for us as moms. And so for anybody who's listening, go out and do your 5-star review now.
Oh,
Okay.
thank you
for doing that. Thank you.
Can we put a bow on your head? Gosh, Dr. Pamela,
that
you're like,
now.
no, that's perfect.
That's what I want to start with. Now, I can answer your question about why it's so stressful. I think it's a combination of things that make it a stressful process. For us as moms, we want the best for our kids. And as they are going into this college admissions process, there's a lot of emotion for us. There's a lot of emotion for us in terms of wanting the best for them and not wanting to see them have any feelings of rejection.
Right.
And, that's huge. And if we are working moms, we have that guilt around, are we doing enough to help them be successful? And so that's all wrapped up into all of the news we hear about how colleges are, only admitting 2% or some crazy number, or how expensive it is. And for our teens, they're caught up in everything they are hearing at school and feeling that stress. And right now in this season, where students are starting to hear back where they've been admitted or where they haven't been admitted, that news travels fast. And so if you think like, oh my God, this kid is so smart and they didn't get into X college, oh, that means it's going to be so hard for me to get in, or I could never get in. And all of that combined around this whole topic just makes it so much more stressful than it has to be.
That's absolutely true.
That's what I feel. It's just so many different, factors and involvement, and certainly the media, our own feelings as parents, and what the teens are experiencing.
There's so many conflicting emotions and different emotions. One emotion that I have never heard parents talk about is that I feel a slight twinge of jealousy for my daughter, like being able to go through this stage right now, because I remember college being such a wonderful time and like a time where I grew, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I wish I could do that again. I wish I could have some of the opportunities that, because of what I went through in my life, I was able to provide for her. And that's a weird feeling as a parent.
Yeah, it is. It is. And we all, if we've gone to college ourselves, have that feeling of what it should be in terms of even what options they may decide to choose. And when we get caught up in, it almost feeling like, we are doing this. When you start using that we term to talk about it, you've already pretty much crossed the line into it being a little bit more stressful than it should be.
That is a good tip. I feel like we need to really emphasize that one. If it's a we process and we got into this school, that's a sign that you've already crossed the line. That seems to be a mistake that parents may be making in this college admissions process. What other kind of mistakes do you see parents making that may really like hurt this relationship with their kids and also like make it a lot more stressful than it needs to be?
Right. That's certainly the biggest one when you start to use that term we, because what it signals is that your teen isn't owning the process for themselves and owning those decisions for themselves. And so that's where it really starts to get even more stressful. And so that's probably the biggest mistake that I see is parents taking on the process and owning it themselves as opposed to letting their teen own it. And along with that, sometimes they're doing a lot more work than their teen is doing. So if a parent tells me they were up at night researching the colleges and looking at them, or they did the calls to schedule the campus visits, they have taken over. And when they're doing the work for them, the teens are more inclined to be resentful. Even if they're not expressing it, that resentment will certainly fester, especially when it gets down to where they end up going.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Now you just gave me a
Okay,
question.
Bree, did I step on your toes there?
Oh no, you gave me a really good question. I want to flip that coin over. So, my question for you is, what about if you're taking too much of a back seat? So I would love to hear, I want to describe to you after this break, like what my situation is with my oldest. Because I was telling Joanne earlier, I think we have some different experiences. And I feel like I'm doing the opposite side of the coin with my son. And I need you to tell me if I am screwing him up right after this.
You know, I'm starting to look more closely at what's in the things I use every day because you want your house clean. You don't want to spray around microplastics and wake up with hives. That's why I was really excited to try Branch Basics.
The Branch Basics Premium Starter Kit includes one powerful concentrate that replaces traditional cleaning products.
I mean, one product that then goes into all different bottles and different concentrations for your counters, for your laundry, for your windows, everything. This formula does it all.
The Branch Basics Concentrate replaces dozens of cleaners you're now using with something that's free of fragrances, thank you, free of parabens, love that, and free of synthetic preservatives, so you can trust it's safe for everyone in your home.
Branch Basics means less plastic waste, fewer toxins, more clean. Make this year the year you say goodbye to toxic products. Right now, our listeners get 15% off the Premium Starter Kit by using code FRESH at branchbasics.com.
That's 15% off your new Branch Basics Premium Starter Kit at branchbasics.com with promo code FRESH. Make 2025 your cleanest, healthiest year yet with Branch Basics.
Pepsid Complete knows that food is one of the best parts of game day. That is, until heartburn strikes. Thankfully, just one chewable tablet of Pepsid Complete provides dual-action heartburn relief with an antacid that starts working instantly and an acid reducer that lasts all day. So you can stay focused on that second helping of chili without worrying about heartburn. All day based on 8-hour symptom relief studies during the day. Use product only as directed.
The last thing you want to hear when you need your auto insurance most is a robot with countless irrelevant menu options. Which is why with USAA Auto Insurance, you'll get great service that is easy and reliable, all at the touch of a button. Get a quote today. Restrictions apply.
USAA. Okay. Can I call you Dr. Pamela? I feel like we're on that level here. All right.
If I had a doctor in front of my name, I would probably say everyone should call me Dr. Joanne, by the way.
Yeah, right? I don't know. It's empowering to me. I don't know. Yeah. So, Dr. Pamela, here is my dilemma. So, my oldest is your all AP honors classes. Definitely wants to get an amazing scholarship, wants to have like the best GPA, all of that, wants to have a great college experience. I think he wants the scholarships because he doesn't want to have loans. He's terrified of loans. So I don't know what's been said to him about student loans. And now it's gotten to the point where I don't want to put any pressure on him. So even though I know he has this, I want to go to college mindset.
Yeah.
And I know that he has some big dreams in the back of his head. I also know that, like Joanne, he's not reaching far. He's staying close by. And I think because it's easier for him. I am not putting any pressure on him regarding college at all. I'm like, you want to go to college? You don't want to go to college? It's fine. Don't worry about student loans. We'll figure it out. But I refuse to schedule any college tours for him. He has to do that. I refuse to do any applying for anything with him. What I have done is said, if you need my help, I'm here. But that's as much as I'm willing to do. And the other thing you might need to know is that I'm divorced and my son spends 1 week at my house and 1 week at his dad's house. And I don't know what kind of mind, what his message is at his dad's house. But I feel like the best thing I can do is to not push at all. And now I'm worried that he feels like he's on his own. I'm worried. He hasn't said this, by the way. This is just Bree's head going in that direction, that I'm taking too much of a backseat. He thinks he has no support and he's doing it all on his own. So what are your thoughts? Am I screwing him up by not taking more of a lead? Because the truth of the matter is the boy doesn't know what he doesn't know, but he also doesn't want to hear it from me. unfortunately, I have said to him, the college experience and the application process is not what it was when I was in college. Like, I feel like I just had to write my name on an application and I got accepted. It was not the high pressure stakes it is these days.
No. Well, one thing I'll say for sure is I don't think that it's been a mistake that you have stepped back at all.
But that's almost like the opposite side of what you were talking about, right? Like, no?
No, I don't think of it that way at all.
If people could see me cheering in the background right now, I'm like, raise the roof. I didn't break my kid. Whoop, whoop.
No, I don't think of it as the opposite at all. I would say at this point, the thing you don't want is for him to feel that he's out there by himself.
Yeah.
And so the way that you can mend that would be if there is someone else, perhaps his counselor at school, that can partner with you in terms of continuing to guide him through the remainder of this process. Because he's a senior now, and so I'm not going to say that, there are all these things that you should be doing or you've made all these mistakes. No way. It's now really making the most of where he is now and where he's gotten to at this point. I wouldn't even recommend doing a lot of things like all of a sudden he starts looking at colleges away. If he wants to stay close to home, then that's
I need to honor it, right?
Exactly. Honor that and show him that you still believe in him and that he is going to make a great decision when it comes time to decide between the offers that he has available and that you're still supporting him. And as a senior, he wouldn't be doing any visits really until he has perhaps an offer to do an interview at a campus for a scholarship, or in the spring when he is doing his visits of the colleges where he's been admitted. So doing an admitted student visit, and you can support him by going to those visits. And when you do go to the visit with him, it will be supporting him as he negotiates his offers.
Right. Okay.
And so that's what you'll do to still show him that you're in his corner, you're supporting him in this great decision that he's going to make.
That'd be cool.
Thank you so much for validating me and my experiences and my special family. Because my daughter is nothing like my son. But with that being said, I feel like, Joanne, you kind of have a same yet very different issue going on in your house with your junior.
Oh, yeah. My junior daughter, she does not want to talk about which college she's going to right now.
Oh.
Like, she was like, anytime any outside family members ask, she's like, I don't really know, what I want to do. And that is fine with me. It is fine.
I just had a conversation with my clients about this. We have a parent community, and it's all of our senior clients. And the thing that we talked about was, how to have a conversation or not about college during the holidays, because everyone is going to be asking, where are you going to college? And a lot of students don't know yet and won't know until after the new year. And so how do you handle those conversations? How do you set boundaries with family members? And also you yourself respect your teen's space and not ask them those questions around what they're doing, where are they going, how come they have it.
So at what point should a parent tap in and just be like, hey, just wanted to know if you've started anything at all yet? Like, I don't know, like, how do we get to ask questions without being, last thing I want to hear is for my kid to come back and be like, you're always so controlling, Mom, you're pushing so much.
Yeah, I think there's a way to do that in terms of asking open-ended questions as opposed to those closed questions. And the truth of the matter is that timing is everything, Bree. So perhaps you're not talking about it with your son at the dining room table, but the two of you are out on a walk together, or maybe you're cooking together. And that's when you're asking that open-ended question. And the key thing that I'll share to always keep in mind when you're having these conversations with your teen is to have that judgment-free zone. And here is an example I'll share with you when I was talking with my youngest. They were telling me about an issue that they were having at school. So they were talking on and on about it. And I thought I was really doing something because I was sitting there listening quietly as they talked. And when they finished, I was like, oh, you should do X, Y, Z. And boy, did they let me have it.
Oh, yeah.
Stop.
Yes, I get it constantly.
Everything. Yeah. And I'm like, what? Where did that come from?
Yeah.
I had no idea. But it was, again, the way they perceived it. Here I am butting it in again, trying to solve their problems. And it wasn't my place to solve it for them, but to really give them the space to share openly, make them feel comfortable sharing openly, and expressing curiosity, yes, but not solving it for them. And we all know, and I think from your faces, you've had that, backlash from your teen, and you're just like,
oh my
what?
gosh.
Where is
but
that coming
sometimes
from?
you don't even know the boundary until you break it. So
Right.
I think like one of the things is like going into these conversations, like don't like, I wouldn't try to be too cautious, but it's always like you try something and then if it doesn't work, you revise it. Now, see, Pamela, I get the opposite from my teen. I will be calm. I will be listening. And she's like, why aren't you as mad about this as I am? Why aren't you giving me these like reactions to this situation? And I'm like, I'm listening and this is how I react. I'm taking it all in. So I get in trouble either way, so I don't even think about getting in trouble anymore. I'm just like, whatever. Her opinion of me does not matter to me. I am still a good person and this is what I have to tell myself because I get it all the time.
Right? I know. I can't tell you the many times I felt like I am such a terrible mom.
Well, hey,
you are still a good mom. You are a good person. Your teen's opinion is not a reflection on your motherhood.
That needs to be a t-shirt. We need to make that a t-shirt.
Yes.
Your value your value as a parent is not deemed by your child's snarky response.
Yes.
Or when they give you the silent treatment, as I often got from my sons when it came to talking about college with my oldest, he didn't really want to talk about it. And his plan was that he was going to apply to one college, early action, and that would be it. And that's exactly what he did.
Oh my God, your son and my son are like the same kid.
And he finds out mid-December that he was deferred. And we had to cancel all of our holiday plans because through Christmas and New Year's, that's when he started working on his applications. And he was nervous then because he saw that, he wasn't just going to get into one college and be done.
I mean, I think that really illustrates a hard part of parenting. And I want to talk about that more right after this break.
I think I just won my taxes.
Yeah?
I just switched to H&R Block in about 1 minute. All I had to do was drag and drop last year's return into H&R Block, and bam, my information is automatically there.
So I don't have to go digging around for all my old papers to switch?
Nope.
Sounds like we just leveled up our tax game.
Switching to H&R Block is easy. Just drag and drop your last return. It's better with Block.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. When your computer breaks, you don't wait for it to magically start working again. You fix the problem. So why wait to hire the people your company desperately needs? Use Indeed's sponsored jobs to hire top talent fast. And even better, you only pay for results. There's no need to wait. Speed up your hiring with a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
We're so done with New Year, New You. This year, it's more you on Bumble. More of you shamelessly sending playlists, especially that one filled with show tunes. More of you finding Geminis because you know you always like them. More of you dating with intention because you know what you want. And you know what? We love that for you. Someone else will too. Be more you this year and find them on Bumble.
So Pamela, you described this process with your son, and I think that like what you went through right there, it was like such the optimal thing for kids to go through, but it also made your life a little harder in those December months.
It did.
And I think that's something that we think about as parents a lot. We're like, okay, well, if they don't do this, then it's going to ruin all of my plans, which it did for you. And yet that was the only thing that was going to motivate your son to have those natural consequences happen where it's like, oh shoot,
to feel
my
the
plan fell through.
squeeze, to feel the squeeze of the planning or the lack of planning.
Yeah.
No, but it's so hard. I want to talk about how do we navigate as parents these messages that kids are getting from school. And I'll give you an example here. My daughter goes to a college prep high school where all the teachers are very focused on, oh, you need to do this to get into college. Oh, you need to do that to get into college. Oh, you should have all these APs to get into college. And like she feels so much stress from it. And her friends' parents also put a lot of stress on their kids. And so it's an environment of like this, I need to do the right thing, else I'm not going to get into college. How, as a parent, can I help alleviate that stress a little bit at home? Or what can I help her with in that respect?
Wow. That's one that I've experienced for sure. My kids went to a highly selective, rigorous high school where everything was about you need to get into X college. And so it's one that comes up a lot, with my clients as well. And I particularly see the stress among the girls that we work with. I think it's balanced out by you doing those simple things like having routines at home, routines of dinners together, and also giving her the space to self-reflect, whether it's through journaling, whether it's through providing some assessments where she gets a sense for who she is. And one of the things that we've implemented in our programs is a values assessment. And so that way your daughter will come to know herself better, feel that self-awareness and understanding around what her strengths are. And so that everything isn't about being perfect or doing what everyone else is doing. And certainly having a strong family foundation provides that source of strength.
I have to say that dinner thing is hard when they get into the high school years, especially at these high achievement schools, because she has like volunteer things. Just yesterday she was volunteering at a nursing home, and then she had to go to a basketball game because she's part of student government and had to be there. And so she comes in at home and it's like 8:30. We've already eaten dinner. She's like trying to shovel down the food at the kitchen counter, and just seeing the stress that our kids are under. It's insane. Like it is insane.
It's definitely hard when they are a junior because there's a lot more
to be done,
pressure.
Right?
Classes are harder. There's the testing. There's everything they have to do to prepare for their college applications in junior year. But I often advise taking something off their plate because so many times a lot of stress is added because kids feel like they need to be quote unquote well-rounded. They need to do all these different things. And I'm just like, when they ask me that, like some of my students ask me, what about community service? I need to do community service. What community? I'm thinking like, why? Why do you need to do community service? If you don't care about community service, don't do it. Simple as that. You don't have to do it. Yeah. When you are even putting your, activities resume together, it's not about doing a little bit of everything. That's just going to wear you down. And do those things you care about. And so if you don't care about that, then don't do it. Simple as that.
That is
I have to
such
share.
great advice.
I was going to say, if you want to hear that from your mouth to my son's ears, like 2 weeks ago, he had a senior night for marching band, and they all had to bestow a piece of advice to the students that were still in marching band. And his advice was, so I kind of got a little excited my senior year and joined every club. I suggest you don't do that. It's a bit overwhelming. And so, like, hearing you say that, I just want you to know I had told my son that. He didn't listen to me, but boy, did I sit there and like cover my mouth so I didn't do that loud cackle laugh I do when I'm like, I told you. Yes. He knows that laugh, so I try to keep
And you know something? That's the nature of teens. They don't listen to us. They don't listen to us. But you know something?
We know nothing.
I am not mad about it because that's really what keeps us in business because we're that neutral third party. I had a mom ask me recently about whether or not her son should be prepping for the SAT because he thinks he doesn't have to because the colleges are test optional. And she was just saying how frustrated she is with talking to him about it. And I was just like, don't say it to him. Let me say it. Because I can say that and he'll listen to it because I'm not you. I'm not his mom.
You hold so much more water than we do.
It becomes gospel.
The thing about it, my kids don't listen to me.
If one of my kids' teachers says something and I know it's completely wrong, my opinion does not matter. And I want to go bang my head against a wall because it's like,
is it not the most frustrating thing to be somebody that is well versed in anything that has to do with children or education because your kids will never listen to you.
Right.
Yet you're giving the right support and advice 99% of the time.
Happens all the time.
But it can't come from us because
it cannot come from
jaded.
us. It cannot come from us. So I thank them and I'm grateful that their parents decide to partner with me to tell them.
Yes, absolutely. Well, Pamela, you've given us so many great tips. First of all, like if you've already started using the Wii, you've stepped over the line, making sure you're there for your child and also like providing those routines and everything that has nothing to do with school or college whatsoever, just to take the stress away. So if you're having a stressful time with your child right now, like try those simple little tips and watch out for that college application being used. And what though right now in your life, Pamela, what are you looking forward to personally?
Oh, personally, I'm looking forward to running a half marathon in all 50 states.
No way! How many have you done so far? Or are you just starting on this?
So far, I've done 5.
That's a lot! I think I've been to 5 states total, let alone the amount of running I've done in those states is what's that number called, Joanne? 0? Zip? Zilch.
As someone, so I was looking back there at my medals because I did marathons before my first was born. I haven't done any of this since I've had kids, but they're so fun. They're so great. Which one are you doing?
They are. Well, I'm doing one in Florida in the upcoming weeks and Indiana, likely. And so I have different marathons coming up, plotted out, and my goal is to have them all completed by December of 26.
Wow.
That's exciting.
Well, when you do yours in Arizona, chances are good you'll be in like Phoenix. So look us
probably
up.
Rock and roll. No,
I was
I used to live in Phoenix and I love it. I can't wait to come back. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Pamela, for joining us and for giving us all this information.
Thank you.
And I will be taking it to heart and just calming myself down. Too.
We will both be taking it to heart. You have impacted the lives of at least 4 children very directly right now.
So many more when this airs.
Yes.
Yes, thank you so much. And can I leave a gift?
Oh, yes.
For your listeners? Awesome. I want to gift to your listeners the College Prep Blueprint. And it's a guide sheet on step-by-step what to do each year. and also a communication guide to have those touchy conversations about college without feeling like you're nagging your teen and just having that stress and overwhelm. So that's what I'd like to gift. And they can message me the word Blueprint 25 at LinkedIn. I'm Dr. Pamela Ellis on LinkedIn, DrPamelAELLIS.
And we'll put all of that in the show notes too.
Awesome.
Thank you again, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, and take care.
Okay, so both of you and I are going through all the college stress right now, and I thought that was very helpful, very validating.
It was. From my personal perspective of having the AP honors kid, junior year was the worst for us. It was hell. It was hell in school. It was funny because Dr. Pamela suggested, helping them take things off their plate, bringing them back to routines and things like that. And I tried a lot of that with my son junior year. And you remember hearing me talk about it last year. And if you're a regular podcast listener, you heard me talk a lot last year about how I was concerned about my kiddo. And I think it was 100% that he was overscheduled. He was overworked. He had a job. He had his marching band, which takes up both before and after school activities plus weekends. And then he was taking all these AP classes, studying for the SAT, studied for the ACT, wanted particular scores, blah, blah, blah. All I can tell you is that kid was a ball of nerves. Everything upset him. He was in a really rough place. I did ask him to quit his job. He wouldn't do it for me, but something happened. And right before band started his senior year, he was like, I'm going to take a break from work. He gave that advice to kids about my son's in drama club.
He's learned.
Yeah, he's in drama club. He holds an office in drama club. Has my son ever been in a play? Nope, hasn't taken a sip, but he enjoys being in the club. My point being is just that kids will find it and it'll be painful and it'll be so hard to watch, but they do find their way. Just keep bringing, I think that what she said was the best advice. Just kept bringing it back to you don't need to do so much. And he's in a much better place this year. He's already been accepted in a couple of colleges. I think he's done.
Good. That's all good. Yeah, I'm not seeing too much stress from my daughter. She just doesn't want to be asked where she's going to school.
So if you have a kid who is coming near college, you definitely need to follow up with Dr. Pamela Ellis. Get her free guide, the College Prep Blueprint, along with the communication guide. Just click and DM her the message Blueprint 25 and she will send that to you because it is going to be a huge help.
Exactly. And until next time, remember, the best mom is a happy mom. Take care of you. We'll talk to you later.
Thanks for stopping by.
If you'd like to support the show further, you can share episodes with your loved ones, leave a positive review, or follow us on social media at No Guilt Mom. You could also show your love by visiting our amazing podcast sponsors. We have a link in the show notes.
Are you a parent in need of a laugh and a little escape? Look no further. Parenting is a Joke is the podcast you've been waiting for. Hey, I'm Ophira Eisenberg. I'm a stand-up comic and parent. And each week I chat with one of my top comedian pals who, just like you, are juggling careers, busy lives and schedules, and raising a family. You can expect candid stories, hilarious mishaps that happen on stage and at home, and just a lot of laughs. There's no expert advice here. Well, actually, sometimes a good idea does sneak its way in, but mostly just pure, relatable fun to remind you that we're all in this parenting adventure together. New episodes of Parenting is a Joke drop every Tuesday, so tune in, get ready to laugh, unwind, and maybe even feel a little bit better about your own parenting. Because sometimes that's exactly what your therapist, pediatrician, and bartender ordered. Subscribe now on your favorite podcast platform.